If you like card shedding and cute little otters, then you want to check out Otter. Let's take a look at how this game plays. In this game, players are trying to get rid of their hand of cards, and they'll need to do that a certain number of times based on player count in order to win the overall game. At the beginning of each turn, a player can decide to draw 1 to 3 cards if they'd like to. And for each card that they draw, they are allowed to swap tails or heads of otters, or flip over a head or a tail of an otter to change the suit that's required in that otter's column, or to change the rule, so for example, higher and lower. After drawing cards, then they are allowed to play cards from their hand until they are no longer able to, or no longer want to, or no longer follow the playing rules. So, for example, if I wanted to play in this column here, I could play a higher card, higher than an 8, or I could play any starfish card, even if it was, for example, a 1, or I could play something that was both in order to continue playing cards. So I think I'll play over here in this column, so an even card that has a fish on it, so I can play this 4, and because I followed both rules, I can play again, so I think I'll play this 8, and now that I don't have any cards that follow both rules, I can still play another card, so I'm going to play a 9 because it's still a fish, but it's not even, so that will end my turn. Again, at the beginning of my next turn, I can choose to draw more cards if I'd like to, if maybe I don't have anything that will let me play multiples, and that will let me kind of adjust the rules that are out there a little bit. When a player runs out of cards in their hand, they will take a lucky stone, and again, depending on the number of players, once they have a certain amount of lucky stones and then run out of their cards again, the player will win the game. I thought this game was super cute. I do generally like card shedding games because I think that they're light enough, but still have a little bit of strategy, especially with this because you have multiple different areas that you can play your cards to. I think there is a little bit of strategy that comes with that, as well as a little bit of strategy in when you choose to draw cards, if you're trying to build up a hand of a lot of one suit to try and have another round where you're just playing almost all of your cards if you can. So I think that this has a really good balance of light rule set with good meaningful strategy. So I really liked that. I think that the game just works really well, and there's a little bit of variability in the tails and the head rules, so I think that that's also really good to keep it a little bit fresh coming to the table every time. I wasn't huge on the solo. I thought it was really difficult because you basically had to play all of the cards in the deck by yourself, and there are a lot of rules with you can't play from the same pile that you have 4 piles, and then you can't play to the same otter twice in a row. So I do think it is very, very tricky. So if you like a little bit of a puzzly element to a card shedder, then that is a little bit more where that's at. But I liked the multiplayer game. I thought that it was really smooth, worked really well. And I'm actually interested in getting a second box to play with more players because I do think it would be approachable and it would be a pretty decent game for a couple more than 4 players as well. But you can check out my full thoughts on the blog today to decide if this one's for you.